Let's talk about the financial side. So how did it work financially for you guys with this song?
So right off the rip, when we were making it, we didn't really think it was going to be big.
Yeah,
So we were just like, we're not even going to think about it, but like 50-50, whatever. And so that's kind of just where we went with that. And then we first put it on TuneCore, which is like an independent. You pay $10 to get your song on Apple Music and Spotify and whatnot.
Sure.
So, but the cool thing about TuneCore is that you get 100% of what you get. They're not taking anything. Where normally if you go through like a record label, they're taking some large percentage. If you're going through another one of those independent services, they at least take like 10%.
So you charge for downloads that on TuneCore? Is that how you get money or no? How do you?
They make the $10.
Yeah, and then how do you make your money once it's on TuneCore?
So through iTunes purchases, streams, Spotify streams. It's also cool because we went through a very evolutionary right
as the music industry was changing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was more like the 99-cent purchases on iTunes, and now it's almost 100% streaming. Yeah, and Spotify. So now it's always this weird algorithm of like 0.006 to 0.008 cents per stream, depending on the month, and like it's a very we've got a good feel for it now, but it changes all the time.
We released the song like 100% independently on TuneCore, and like I said, we
made like $50K in like a little bit.
It was making a lot of money really fast when we first dropped it. And then the CEO of TuneCore actually reached out to us and called us and said,
he was like, "Hey, have you guys even logged in?
Have you guys logged?" Like, first of all, we were on it every day. We knew exactly what was happening. But he called us and was like, "Guys, like this is one of the biggest songs we've ever had on TuneCore. Like, do you guys know that you're selling like thousands?"
And like they make
songs
their
per
money
day?
by basically the $10 song that they put on, and that person, most of the songs they get, like they don't make any money. You know what I mean? So they're just getting all these weird little independent artists that don't really make that much money to get them to $10. So he was like, "Oh, like well, like we're not even a real record label. What's going on? You guys are doing numbers right now."
The game has totally changed now, though. Like TuneCore now distributes a ton of music. I'm sure they've had bigger hits than Jordan Belfort, but back then it was really,
maybe not.
It was really unique, but and like we were making a lot of money off the sales.
A lot of money.
Like thousands of dollars per day. Like, and that was a lot at the time. Like, and this was before the song really got as big as it eventually did. But
that was your first bite at the apple, right? Was that money on TuneCore? What happened next?
And so we honestly, in my opinion, like we didn't know how to judge this amount of income. Like we didn't know, like, okay, could it stop tomorrow? Like could it stop tomorrow? So
right off rip, we should have left it on TuneCore.
We should have just left it.
We should have left it on TuneCore.
No, we're 18, 19. We don't know everything about like this industry. We're still learning.
I say that, but I immediately was like, well, we had to go through the whole process of everything to learn everything that we do now. And we did. So basically we signed it with Atlantic Records. A ton of people reached out to us. Sony, Epic Records, like every record label pretty much ever was reaching out to us. But because we were kind of like first time artists, we had our lawyer look over everything and they were like, they're kind of screwing you over. So the first time we got with Atlantic, this was the first time we got like an okay deal that was like, just because like we weren't established artists, like, and they didn't.
What was the deal?
They didn't understand the absolute.
What was
growth.
The deal?
So it was
$50,000 advance plus 18% royalties on the song. So they purchased the entire song outright from us, basically, and there was like an agreement for one follow-up song in it. So we essentially gave up like 82% of the royalties of the song for the advance. And so
at the time
you guys are making thousands a day. Why would you do $50,000?
So like really at the time,
well,
like,
we thought being with Atlantic Records was going to be a little bit more valuable than it was. You know what I mean? We thought getting into a true record label. Now we're like, fuck record labels. They don't do anything but like you can do everything independent. Way much better. You know what I mean? Just with a small team or just with yourself than a record label will do. Just because they're not giving you the extra.
So they gave $50,000, and what did you think was going to happen after that?
And this was also in the beginning. So like with the money, like we were making a ton of money, but we thought that like we didn't think it was going to get that much bigger.
Was this before the video?
We were almost
Here's the thing. It was
around
after
the same
video.
time.
It was after the video. We sold them the video too. We made the video 100% independently. We sold it to them. They wanted to buy it because of the video. That was a huge factor in it. But Yeah, like we basically just didn't know what to expect from the song. And the other thing is we had people from the record label and everyone in the industry, right, is telling us like, oh, you better take this deal. Like there's a chance to work with Atlantic Records. Like,
yeah, it's like you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. This is like set in
Right.
stone. Like get the advance, and you know if shit goes wrong, take the money and run. It's in advance. Blah blah blah.
There was this element of genuine confusion in the industry about SoundCloud and internet songs. So like this was at a time when there was still some level of like, we don't know how this stuff works yet. So, right. So like in talking to people in the industry, like at this time, no one could say like, if you get 1 million views on SoundCloud, is it going to keep going or could it stop getting views tomorrow?
Sure.
And it was just like a time where like we didn't know. We had people trying to convince us to take the deal.
It's
so
being
we took it.
smashed into the industry
So
like that.
how much
It's
did you
weird.
make after you sold it to Atlantic Records?
So like I would say we made like 6 figures, very very low though, like you know just barely 6 figures, and
No, I would say closer to like 4 or 5K, 4 or 500,
well,
including some random.
together like together.
Yeah.
I mean, it maybe well if you include like our tour and everything, but let's just talk about from Atlantic. I think it was like low 6 figures, and the truth is like. If we would have remained independent, that song should have made us millionaires. Like that song should have made us millionaires straight up. And we took a deal that was like first deal, foot in the door, but it was not the best deal for us. Like it was, you know, and that's a learning experience. I think that's part of entrepreneurship. I think that whether you're in music industry or whether you're in a different line of business, like your first deal is always going to be one that you're going to look back on and say, there's some things I could have done better.
yeah, I mean that's true, and also it shows you the importance of having a mentor. Now, what you guys really needed was a mentor.
Absolutely.
Like my friend Larry Rudolph, who manages Aerosmith and Britney Spears and
nice.
you know and others. Like he would have said to you, "Don't freaking sell that." You know?
Yeah, no, we need
But
someone
that's
that had
okay.
like
but
crazy
listen, you learned.
faith in
So
us.
okay, so if you would have kept it the way it was
It
it TuneCore?
It was distributed, yeah, TuneCore.
What do you think you would have made just if you had kept the whole thing yourself?
I think we would have both been
Let's,
millionaires. I mean,
Let's do a simple number.
yeah, Spotify streams. Those Spotify streams we have are worth like
Wait,
half a mil.
0.008 is the general thing for a Spotify
That's
stream.
kind of high, but they're worth
0.07.
yeah, they're worth between like the Spotify alone worth between like 500,000 and 1 million.
Worth meaning in one shot, or
The streams payout. So 100 million streams is going to pay out something like it's a wide range, but it's like 300K up to like 800K depending on the countries they're streaming it in and stuff like that.
and that's Spotify.
That's
And then,
only
yeah,
Spotify.
Just Spotify streams is getting us 980.
yeah.
And how about iTunes? And,
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is like we didn't even talk about this yet. When you were talking about the girls, I wanted to bring it up. But like we did a tour, like we did 40 to 50 independent shows all over the US. I've been to like every big party school. We've been there.
Pretty much every
like,
state college, even smaller places.
Like,
we went to Barcelona.
So many.
Like,
yeah, we made
a couple
it to Europe.
overseas things.
And what was your biggest audience you had?
It was at
15,000.
Numbers Fest in Ohio. We opened for
No.
Fetty Wap and the Chainsmokers.
The Ray Shrimmer show was even bigger.
That one was at Duke. Yeah, Ray Shrimmer. We opened for Ray
shit.
Shrimmer at Duke. That was really cool. But yeah, no, we did some really awesome shows, and that made us some money as well. And those people, the people that booked our shows, like they did us well. Like they worked pretty hard for us. We did a lot of shows in a year.
Right.
But like I honestly think the record label really did not look out for us. Like they could have done so much more. I mean, listen to this.
It was just kind of disorganized.
The song
like if
went
we had
platinum.
like any sort of team.
When the song went platinum, I got a platinum record. Like I posted about it. They didn't even do like a press release or like any kind of like blogs or articles about our song going platinum. Like song hits 100 million streams. Nobody even said anything. Listen to this. You know, like on Instagram Music, they don't even have Jordan Belfort on Instagram Music because someone at Atlantic Records hasn't pressed the button yet. And it's ridiculous. Like you can't even look up Jordan Belfort to put it on your Instagram story because nobody cares. Like, which is disappointing because, you know, when we sold that song, we were thinking
like,
that we were going to
you guys are about to have our backs. There's going to be.
We're going to have our backs.
Have you
gonna
called
be
them?
proper
Have you guys
resource.
called them and complained and
that's a good question.
Like yes,
Not
a little bit, but like the team is like you know what I mean. We lost our point of contact like a while back, and so now like we don't even like we've reached out once before, but then the one person was like, oh, you got to like talk to your A&R. Well, we don't have
right?
an A&R anymore.